pickings were slim because, like I said, it was the eve of Thanksgiving, and most people are out of town. And I'm looking around for the, the tormented straight girl. I'm so confused. Take your shirt off. I just want to hold you a little closer. I love you. I mean it, dear. Fingers crossed. But she wasn't there. So what consisted, what was there was the bartender, this balding gay couple, and this beast of a woman on the corner of the bar. But like I said, it was last call, and I was dedicated. So telling the truth. So I approached her. She looked like, I don't know, a cross between B. Arthur and Dustin Hoffman and Tootsie. I was the belle of the ball. So I sat down, and I said, what are your troubles? And I actually listened to this woman, and she was really defeated looking, and I listened to her tell her story, and it turns out that Lene was actually John. And I knew I wasn't getting laid, but I cared, and I was trapped, so I let her finish. And she was telling her story, and I felt really, really bad, and I was thinking of the holiday about Thanksgiving, and coming together and all that, and it was the Christian thing to do, really. And so I said, why don't you spend Thanksgiving with me and my family in Danville? And, because we're going to accept you, big hug. And, stop real quick. What I said to this woman, or man, was total shit. Because, well, I meant well, and I was really believing that somehow I could resolve this, and that I would get it, like, through the house. And that it would just somehow, all come together. It was crap. Back to the story. I was hopeful. So it's Thanksgiving Day, and Lene met me at my parents' driveway, and really decked out for the occasion. He had a barrel skirt. I mean, he looked like a 19th century piñata. All that was missing was the lantern and the Bible. It was scandalous. And I just thought, dear God. And as I approached the house with Lene in the whole outfit, I opened the door and I said, I'm home. Well, nobody answered. So I said it again, I'm home, it's me. And they only answered because they didn't want me to say it a third time. We know. They're loving. So I said, okay. And I said, Lene, and then I could hear my mom, like this, down on the right is the master bedroom, and down this hall I could hear this rustling, this like session in progress. It was hairspray, perfume, it was chaos. And I said, let's go over here. So we went to the left, which was the kitchen. And there was my dad. And I was actually kind of embarrassed. He was fisting this turkey like some Turkish lesbian, It was just horrible. It's like it's his bitch. She was so embarrassed. Get it in there, And I'm like, Dad, I have a guest. And he's like, I'm busy. I thought, all right, now, Lene, let me introduce you to the rest of the cast. I assured him that by the end of this afternoon, he was going to feel sane. We approached the living room, which was kind of sunken in. We stepped down in there, and I introduced him to my grandmother, who had dementia. And she was in and out of reality. She kept calling me Chauncey, which was her dead brother who weighed in 300 pounds. And I had to be nice because she was losing her mind, but it was just straining me. I'm like, no, Grandma, it's Chantal Chauncey! I'm like, shut up, you old bat! I couldn't say that. But what I said was, have some apple, because I knew it'd throw her off for 4 hours, picking it out of her teeth. Love holidays. And I said, Lene, let me introduce you to my Aunt Lynn, who's a paranoid schizophrenic. Weighing in this corner, 300 pounds, and she's a Virgo. So here's Lynn. She's got her shirt above her nose like this because she swears we're gassing her with crank fumes. She's pointing to the roof of our house, which has no skylight, because she's trying to let the planes know that we are the evil, sadistic bastards that are killing her, and that they need to seize the house. I'm not kidding you. I said, Lynn, this is Lene, but she didn't want to meet Lene because as far as she was concerned, I was Noriega and this was my sister. So I was the head of the cartel, and it's all conspiracy, writing frantically on her paper. I said, Lene, why don't you meet my sister? So I introduced Lene to my sister Giselle, and who had a boyfriend at the time who was so white it was clear. He was from Belgium, did not speak a word of English, but could see that this was a fucked up situation. He sat nervously in the corner with deviled eggs, speaking some sort of French, kind of with a German accent. It was really scary, kind of. And I just said, why don't you talk? And then all of a sudden I hear my mom in this demonic voice call my name, Chantal! And I said, what, Mom? And she goes, are your special friends here? Now stop. I just want to take a second to stop this story and explain what special friends are. Now I know it was wrong to come out the year before on Thanksgiving. At the time it seemed appropriate. Liberals and Republicans, let's unite. But it wasn't a good time, and I could tell it upset her because she said, I would never disrespect my parents the way you do with your lick-lick friends up in this house. Do I have to give you a manual with etiquette? I cannot believe you! Going back to the story. Now, I didn't feel Lene was a girlfriend. I wasn't sleeping with her, and, you know, it was a man, and you know, it didn't fall under Section 7(8)(b) of the Career Manual. So I answered my mother, annoyed. No, I didn't bring a special friend, but I did bring a friend. And I'm laughing inside myself. And my mother comes out of the hall, down the hall, and I can hear her clicking in her heels across the foyer. And she enters. She's wearing a business suit. My mom looks like a cross between Liz Taylor and Rosie before she got really fat. And she's wearing this fierce suit because, after all, it is Thanksgiving. This is a business transaction. She looks at me, she says, nice to see you dressed up for me. Jeans and a t-shirt. White trash. Unbelievable. I've been in the kitchen since 1, and this is the thank you. So I said, Mom, I have a friend. Now, Lene's back was turned to my mother. Lene turned around and said, hello, as he knocked my mother down with his Adam's apple. She went like this in her best Danville, like, ow! Nice to meet you! Can I see you in my room? Some deviled egg. No! She does this every year. I just want to talk to her, have some wine. I'm summoned to the hall of death. My dad's still fucking the turkey. And I tried to talk to her in the hall, like to save some slaughter, you know. I'm like, Mom, silence! I'm in her room, and she locks the door. I'm 23, and I was shitting my pants. She turns around, I can't believe you put a trans testicle in this house! I give, and I give, and you take, and you take, and you take! Now, I'm kind of laughing because I thought she was a Pointer Sister for a second. And I'm biting my tongue so she doesn't snap and kill me. And I said, Mom, silence! Are the windows shut? I don't want the neighbors to hear this. I reassured her that they were shut. They weren't. And she continued to rant. I can't believe you, Chantal. Now, I knew as a child there would be problems. We had to put you in special ed, but I can't believe the retardedness that is in you. Does your father know? Of course he doesn't. He's clueless. I'm the one. I'm the good soldier. I have to wipe my mother's ass. I have to take care of the schizophrenic. I've got to help your sister find an American with hair. And then you're deviant, digest in this house, just bringing strays in here like we're a fucking shelter. I have a name in this town. I didn't want to say it was bitch. I have a name. Your dad and I have clients. It's bad enough they're running around saying you are a dyke. And I me. I tried to give you people a Thanksgiving. You know where I want to be? I want to be in Carmel with a hotel and a book. But now I'm here. I'm here in this purgatory. God, what did I do? To think I could have married Bernie, had a 401k, a Jaguar, and a home in Blackhawk. And I get 2 ungrateful kids. Now you fix it. I'm going to look for a Percocet. So I went out there. And I walked the corridor, the Hall of Shame, and I met Lene, and I said, drink up, it's gonna be a long night. And my mother came out with her overcoat on, her Chanel purse, her Mafia sunglasses. It was raining. She's a diva. Clicking her heels, like just waiting for somebody to pay attention to her in the entryway. My dad's still with the turkey, so I came in and I said, Mom, and she goes, I've really had it, Chantal. I have tried to tolerate this. You give me this P-flag crap. I had high hopes for you, but you beefed up and you eat putts. And I can't take it. I'm sorry, God, she gets me upset. I cannot take it anymore. I'm leaving. You ruin every fucking holiday. Sorry. And she turned around and she left. And she went into her car and she revved the engine for, I don't know, 10 minutes waiting for my father to come out, which he never did. And we had Thanksgiving. And I don't know if my dad actually ever found out if Lene was a man or not, but whatever. And we had Thanksgiving. And the phone rang and my sister answered it. And it turns out it was my mother. My mother's car had broken down. And she was outside in the rain down the street. And so I said, why? I was feeling guilty. So I said, why don't I go and try to help her out, and you stay here with the schizo dad. And Lene actually used to be in the Israeli army and worked on engines. So I said, come with me. I mean, I'm lesbian, but I don't fix cars. Come with me. So we get in her spare car. So we get in the other car, and I go to meet her. I get out of the car. She's livid. The fumes are coming out of the radiator. I get out of the car, and she goes, "You're idiot! Dad sent you down here!" And then Lene got out. Oh, Jesus! And then she went to the back of the car, and I swear to God, she was looking for something sharp to either kill herself or possibly heavy to bludgeon me with. Now stop. What I've learned from this experience is, you know, I don't think this is what the settlers had in mind for Thanksgiving. NFL, JD, red wine, a dyke, a lesbian, you know, it's redundant, you know. Transsexual, the foreigner. Oh, and the schizo. That's America.